Hey everyone, it's Kibby Byte. This is a video of me getting a Grandmaster grade on Tetris the Grandmaster, and I'm gonna explain why this is, significant. So, Tetris the Grandmaster is made by Arika. I think the first game, that is this one, originally came out in, 1998 or something. Pretty long time ago, is the point. And they made a sequel, TGM 2, and they made a third one, TGM 3. They made kind of a side series game, TGM Ace. But the last entry in the series came out in 2005. So fans of this series have been waiting a long time for anything from Arika. And there's been pretty much nothing. Radio silence because, corporate stuff. It's kind of a mess with Arika and Tetris Company, which is yeah, it happens. So a little bit ago, they were like, okay, we want to make Tetris the Grandmaster 4, right? There had been play tests, previously, and it didn't do as well as other Tetris games and as other games that were also at the play test. So it's the company probably didn't see it as a priority. But they were like, okay, if you make a release of, say, some older TGM games, and they have success, then, maybe we'll think about letting you make TGM 4, which people have been waiting for, since 2005, pretty long time, to wait for a, a proper sequel. So this is basically that, there was just this announcement a week or two ago that was yeah, we're releasing Arcade Archives, Tetris the Grandmaster. And everyone goes, what? No one saw this coming. Or at least people who did think this was gonna come, they didn't know when, and just oh dang, alright. So, this is it. You can play TGM 1 legitimately on your Nintendo Switch, like I'm doing, or on your PS4. And, okay, why does, who cares, right? It's a Tetris game, you could just already play it, couldn't you? Well, that's the thing. It was a Japan exclusive arcade title for this entire time, right? Up until this point, any TGM game was a Japan exclusive arcade title, which meant if you were outside of Japan, then you would need to import the arcade equipment to run the game legitimately, which was pretty difficult, and Arika knew this, right? They had corporate obligations to tell people, don't do this illegitimately. Fair enough, again. It's weird stuff with the copyright. But basically, it made the game super inaccessible, right? Because you would either have to go to an arcade in Japan, or find a rare place in the US or somewhere else that has it, or spend literally hundreds of dollars just so you could play one of these games. So the fact that we have this in our hands is absolutely, earth-shattering for the TGM community. It is wild, and I'm so happy because Tetris the Grandmaster, particularly the first game, I really like this game because what I see it as is kind of a cousin to NES Tetris. If you know classic Tetris World Championship, it's that version. I find it very similar to that. There's one next piece you see at the top there. You can't hard drop, right? Until the game makes you. That comes later. Yeah, you got the one next piece. The randomizer is kind of poo-poo sometimes. And the main objective is to just get Tetrises and be quick. And I think that the simplicity really helps out this game. Because basically, it's just about getting those Tetrises. And the main other thing about Tetris the Grandmaster, right? In most other Tetris games, I think that people are familiar with these days, right? If you play on your Switch or your PlayStation or your computer or whatever, your Xbox, your Oculus, you're probably used to a modern Tetris game. And Tetris the Grandmaster plays very differently, right? You don't have all this ability to move the pieces around freely as you can in newer games. It's kind of hard to explain, but basically, the rotations in this game and the movement is a lot tighter, and like what you can do is kind of limited. And that sounds like that would make it worse, right? Oh, there's fewer things you can do to move the piece. But I think it really helps because it adds a nice level of challenge to the game. Because, you know, the game speed isn't too bad. For the technically minded, I think it goes to 30 frames of lock delay at the fastest, which is not bad at all. I think it's just like that the entire game. But basically, the challenge of the game is getting Tetrises while wrangling with this kind of tough movement scheme, especially in the second half of the game where the gravity gets really high. And I just think it's a really fair and cool challenge. And like, the Grandmaster grade is like, it's not easy by any means, right? You have to get good at this game to achieve the Grandmaster grade. But I think it's doable in a really fair and gratifying way, right? If we're continuing the comparison to NES Tetris, that game is very tough because one of the main things about that game is you gain an advantage by being able to move the piece quickly and accurately with your fingers. Because the game has a built-in piece movement that's kind of slow and kind of not built to give you the best chance at winning. Whereas in this game, the piece movement is very generous. So, right, the automatic movement left and right, you probably noticed by now, it's kind of quick. It's 60 hertz compared to 10 hertz on classic Tetris, so, you know, it's way faster. And also, there's a technical detail about the automatic movement, DAS, delayed auto shift, right? Oh my gosh, these technical terms. You know, everyone watching my Tetris videos, you know, surely they know these terms, but, you know, whatever. If you're holding down the left or the right button, in this time after you place the piece and then the next piece entering, you know, that's entry delay, right? If you look really closely, there's a little bit of time after the piece flashes and hits the stack, and then the next piece enters. If you're holding left or right or a rotate, any of those during that period, then you get the benefit of that when the next piece enters. So for the automatic movement, it means your piece will automatically be going at full speed as soon as it comes out of the gate, which is really nice, especially for these awkward gravity levels, or for just playing a little faster, right? You never feel like you're at a disadvantage because of your fingers. You know, that's something I felt like I had to deal with on classic Tetris, was I wasn't really good at, you know, hitting the button fast. But in this game, it doesn't matter. All that matters is you're able to make the correct decisions and, like, stack well. That's basically all you need, right? In NES Tetris, classic Tetris, you need to stack well and kind of have fast fingers. In this game, you just gotta stack well. So here, I'm about to hit level 500, which means the highest speed the game has to offer. And I'm kind of making the pieces go faster, but you can take it a little slower than this and still do just fine. This is 20G, you know, it's a Tetris player term. It means that the gravity is basically instant, which sounds impossible, right? What the heck, the gravity is instant? Like, doesn't that mean the pieces are just gonna pile up in the middle? But the thing is, you get to slide your pieces around before they automatically, like, fix into the stack. So it's all about making the stack shape that has a high part right in the middle. You see the eyepiece was able to get over. Having that highest part in the middle is super essential because it means you can slide your blocks down off the side of it. And this is called pyramid stacking for the TGM players out there. And that's basically the core of this game. After a certain point, like 400 or so, you gotta have a good pyramid stack so you can keep sliding those pieces down and into place. And that combined with the game's rotation system, it feels really good, really gratifying to play. Because it feels like if you're making good decisions, you'll be just fine. Right? It's tough, right? If you're not used to this kind of rotation and overall game style, it's gonna be unfamiliar and difficult. But I think you can learn it. And it's, I don't know, it was really fun for me to learn and get better at this game. I don't know what I was talking about just now, but, right, okay, main takeaway is this game has been basically like fairy dust for the longest time. Right, no one's been able to get a hold of this game without paying a bunch of money or like going to Japan. But now you can get it on your Switch, you can get it on your PlayStation, PlayStation 4 or 5, for $8. And that's just like, compared to multiple hundreds of dollars, that is amazing. That's a steal. I love this game. Everyone should go play it. And, you know, just go for that Grandmaster grade, right? Or even go for a secret grade, if you know what that is. Ooh, secret grade. Yeah. Yeah, I don't need to, well, talk about that. It's not really important. But yeah, this game is awesome. Everyone go buy it so that Eureka knows that people like this game. And maybe, you know, who knows? We could get Tetris the Grandmaster 4, and that would be just incredible. that TP's getting over. I love that. Yeah, so I think I'll shut up for the rest of the video, and you can just watch the Tetris. I think there's a funny moment close to the end where like my controls spaz out or something. So like it looks like I just make a complete fuck up, but yeah, that's all.
Bye.